Hi everyone, and welcome to my review of Captain America Brave New World. Now, I can't bring myself to do this on video, so I'm going to show you a bunch of pretty pictures and tell you what I think. Alright, let's talk about Captain America Brave New World. There's been a lot of talk about whether the MCU is past saving, and honestly, this one's a bit of a mixed bag. Some decent moments, some absolute nonsense, and a few choices that made me wonder what on earth they were thinking. Let's start on a positive note. First off, Harrison Ford. You could tell he was having a lot of fun as President Ross, which is always great to see. He's actually surprisingly good in the role. The action scenes were solid. They were a bit choppy in places, but when they worked, they really worked. There's a sonic boom attack at the beginning, which is particularly good fun and quite clever. They actually followed up on the Eternals. I'm shocked as well. It's nice to see some continuity rather than another film pretending it didn't happen. There were some nice nods to the older MCU films, going all the way back to The Incredible Hulk. It felt like a proper throwback. It felt like it was trying to jump on the coattails a little bit of the Deadpool and Wolverine thing of going back in time, but in some cases it really worked. It was good to see Bucky back. He had a good speech. I thought he was a good character in it. I'm not sure why they tried to turn him into J.D. Vance, but it worked. It was nice, a bit weird, but nice. The final fight, I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but it's actually surprisingly decent. It's smaller than a lot of the films we've had recently. It's more intimate and personal, and it was nice. It wasn't just this massive CGI explosion fest where you couldn't see what was going on. And I will give them credit for the ending. It was surprisingly sentimental, and although it did go on a little bit, they at least tried to stick the landing with this one. Now, here's where it starts to fall apart. The biggest issue for me of this whole film is it just didn't feel like a Captain America movie. It should have been a Falcon film. Instead of trying to force the Captain America into it, whatever that is, you can tell they were really insecure about Anthony Mackie in the role, because every 10 seconds it was Captain America, Captain America, oh, we need Captain America. And we never needed that before. They didn't need to keep banging it over the head. They never felt the need to do it before, and I think that they were just really insecure about it. The plot did, in the nicest possible way, wander. There was loads going on and it was all over the place. If they'd picked one narrow story and tried to stick with it, it would have been a better film. It wasn't dreadful. I've seen worse plots in these films, but something simpler just to tell the story would have been better. One of my biggest bugbears was the tech. The things that I liked about Captain America is that while he's enhanced, he doesn't rely on gadgets other than a shield. But now with new Captain America, it's kind of creeping into Captain Iron, Ant, Panther, America Man territory. And it just doesn't have the same ring to it. There's just too much going on. Cap was great when he was stripped back, and it was just overdone. The CGI was a bit ropey in places, which, given the budget and how many films Marvel has made by now, especially in the scenes on the aircraft carrier, it really shouldn't be happening. It's very volume, and they should be doing better. The power scaling was all over the place. Some characters were just far too strong for what we know about them. Again, Anthony Mackie's Cap is not a super soldier. He cannot take a hit from a Hulk. He'll die. And he didn't. But then in another scene, he'll be knocked around by just a human. It's like, well, you can't have it both ways. You can't be super duper and also quite weedy, depending on the scene you're in for plot purposes. And for the love of all that's cinematic, why they decided to spoil Red Hulk in the marketing is beyond me. It didn't need it. Captain America's a big enough hook, It would have been an amazing surprise. It would have been awesome. And they ruined it and they threw it out there like it was nothing. And now, for the stuff that made me question all of my life choices. Some of the dialogue is just awful. There's something about it where they just don't get it. It's telling, not showing. Captain America gets a phone call and it's, yeah, I'll hold for the president. Well, that's not just for the audience's benefit, is it? Come on. Every time they try to crack a joke, it's like they're trying to recreate the Joss Whedon Avengers as a quippy tone. It's not necessary. Not everyone needs to be Iron Man. A little sincerity would go a long way, and it's just missing. My biggest bugbear of the lot, though, is using Disney Plus characters in major roles in a movie where they've not existed in movies before. Not everyone has watched the shows, and it makes the film feel like homework instead of entertainment, and it hurts. It's been years since I've seen the series, and I don't remember any of it because it was terrible. And now I've got to remember characters from it. So here's my final thoughts. Where does that leave us? Honestly, almost exactly in the middle. It was surprisingly decent compared to some other Marvel outings recently. Ant-Man, I'm looking at you. It's still got its issues, some major ones that we've been through, but it wasn't the absolute disaster it could have been. If Marvel can keep heading in this direction and, actually sort out their scripts, there might still be some hope for the MCU yet. So what did you think of Brave New World? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video and you like this style of review, please like the video and subscribe. See you next time.